We last left Rick Trembles trying to help his time-traveling friend alter the course of the future she came from so she can be unshackled from the totalitarian rulers that have taken over her world. They need to obtain a key to the proper portal, but first Trembles has to sharpen his capacity for recall because only perfect memory banks can open the door. In order to measure the accuracy of his reminiscences, Trembles was asked to share something from his past while staring into the camera of a top-secret website on his laptop. After telling his story, her machine calculated that he got one detail wrong, so it's back to the drawing board. Will Trembles get it right this time? Since she's muzzled, she can only communicate with him by written messages that he converts into audio with his text-to-speech app.
Are you ready to try this again? Activate the memory measuring machine and tell me something else from your past.
Well, okay. In 1996, I drew an autobiographical comic for a Montreal zine about how in high school, all that my friends and I did was smoke dope and take pills every day. When we were too broke to score, my friends would do purse snatchings, but since they thought I looked too weird, hence recognizable, they told me to wait for them at the local Greasy Spoon, which suited me fine. In one panel, I described how they told me it was funny the way the old ladies would fall to the ground screaming. But I made sure to mention that one of them shot himself in the head years later. I suppose it functioned as a punitive ending of sorts. Now here's the thing, these purse snatchings happened in the 70s. A decade later, way after I lost touch with those neighborhood kids, my mom told me he had shot himself in the head. About a decade after that, I made this comic strip. Then another decade goes by, and my mom breaks the news that she made it all up. He did die before his time, but we never found out how or why. And the more I thought about it, the more I wondered if my friends made everything up too. Could they have been simply poking and prodding my moral compass for shits and giggles way back then by faking these purse snatchings in the first place? I was prone to being pranked by them before, so I always had a vague suspicion I was being taken for a ride. After all, they always struck me as even more timid than I was. Was this some sort of drug-skewed empathy test, or did the deed indeed get done and I'm just flirting with denial? If you'll permit me, let's pretend I have my own revisionist time machine over here. Time machine, time machine. Do I ignore my mom's bombshell and let my cautionary tale take on an alternate reality life of its own? Or do I offer up a retraction? My dubious account already lived as a comic for decades, so would I be correcting history or rewriting it? Am I pure as the driven snow yet? My mom's tall tale was an attempt to scare me straight. Was I attempting to do the same for others by prolonging this eventual lie? Or did I blow a hole through my buddy's brains as a human sacrifice to atone for my own wishy-washy moral compass? Or worse, trying to lend gravitas to my otherwise unremarkable childhood? The important thing is, I played along with my purse-snatching pals anyways, never investigating what actually happened, putting myself in the position of being guilty by association, whether anyone was innocent or not. Has everybody been lying to me all my life? Does it matter? The truth is elusive and one-sided. Mom let me erroneously stew in survivor's guilt for years, so let's let that be my truth. I deserve it. Guilt by disassociation. This is the story of my life. Is that okay?
You dum-dum. It was guilt by capitulation, not guilt by disassociation. That was the title you gave it in your book from Conundrum Press. Sharpen your memory better or I'm gonna rot in this smelly muzzle for eternity. Better luck next time.
Groan. Time machine, time machine.